How's it, guys? Welcome back to another video. I wanted to do a quick update on the market because yesterday, we got a little bit of a bounce, and then obviously it looked like a fake out. So I want to speak about exactly what's happening with Ethereum and a couple altcoins. So let's get straight into it. So first things first, with Ethereum right now. So you can see yesterday we tried to break back above that 4,500 level, right? We tried to break back above that level last night, and then we couldn't. Okay. And now we're back below the point of control of this range, right? So basically, this level over here is where the most volume has been traded, right? And you can see it's quite evident that this level provides such an immense support / resistance zone, right? And now that we're closing below this level here, back again, it's not looking too good for Ethereum and obviously, the crypto market, because if Ethereum goes down, then the altcoins are likely to suffer, right? So basically, what I'm looking at today is we do have this massive bullish fair value gap sitting around about here, right? Huge gap sitting over here. This is pretty much the next clear level for me, guys. I would expect Ethereum to bounce from the zone. I wouldn't expect ETH to actually break through the zone at all, right? So you can also look over here. If we do draw the trend line from this low over here. Yeah, I mean, that was your sell, right? We broke trend on the 4-hour time frame. I mean, this is just looking a little bit bearish in my eyes, right? We also changed character, right? So we broke structure. So we broke this low over here. We also broke that low over there. So it's showing us that bearish momentum is starting to creep in here, guys. So I would play this carefully, right? I do think sells are more on the cards today than buys. But like I said, I'm still looking for buys on some altcoins. Even on the 1-hour time frame, you can see that we broke structure to the downside here. And it's just not looking good, guys. I do think that ETH has the potential to flush down, potentially grab more liquidity a little bit lower here. So I'm going to stay away for longs right now. The longs should have been a bit more of a scalp long yesterday, which is what we were speaking about. And I want to go through those positions that we were looking at as well yesterday, because some of them did play out. It was just late in the evening, so I didn't actually post about them, but I'm pretty sure some of you guys must have taken them because I did put them on the Telegram group. But essentially, guys, I mean, if you look at the 1-hour time frame, you can see that it's just bearish, right? So basically, what I would want to see to happen here is if we can somehow come back down here, reset, close like this, and then we create a break of structure to the upside. This is going to be your entry to go long for Ethereum, okay? But right now, can you go long for ETH? Just there's no ways, right? I'd prefer going short here to the downside. It's just looking really weak here. So we'll come back to this, but yeah. Another token here is Zero, guys. So I think Zero is more on the long side, right? And I'll be completely transparent with you guys. Just because I'm looking at shorts here for ETH, it doesn't mean that some tokens can't really rally, right? So if you look at this Zero on the daily time frame, first off, right? Can you see how Zero has been holding this daily range for the last couple of days, right? You can even say for the last week. So holding above resistance, creating support at this level, shows us that price is strong at this zone, right? So what do we need to wait for? We just need to wait for a breakout on the 1-hour time frame. So you can see for this, what I want to see here is obviously I want to see price break this trend, but we also have this bearish fair value gap sitting over here, right? So I want to see price break there, and then we look for longs to the upside, bang, a nice 1:4 is to reward, right? 1:3. Okay, so Zero is looking good. Like I said, just because ETH's looking a little bearish there, doesn't mean Zero can't stay above this resistance and potentially get the pump later, right? So the whole thing now is, if ETH dumps, everything's gonna dump. Yeah, cool. It might dump a little bit, but tokens that are relatively stronger compared to the rest of the market will actually hold these levels as support, and then we'll get those bounces, right? So that's what you kind of have to find in this type of market, right? So that's that. Chainlink is also another one I'm looking at. So if you look at the daily time frame on Chainlink, the daily time frame, sorry, that's a weekly. The daily time frame is very obvious that we're holding this support at 21.6. Like I said in the update today, if we do break below this level of support over here, I'd be very interested in taking sells, because I'm not open to the fact of taking sells. It's just the problem is right now I more want to get the bounce for these longs, right? Because I do think the longs are going to come. I do think we will see some sell side today for ETH especially. But looking at Chainlink, if we do break below this support, we can look for sells back down to 19. Okay, so I'll discuss that. Okay. Another one. So like Ton yesterday, guys, played out quite well. So I spoke about it in the live. In the Telegram group. So I was waiting for that 15-minute close. Right? What was it? Yeah. I was waiting for that 15-minute close above this level. We got the close, and it would have hit TPs if we took this trade, right? It was a very short trade, but I would have had TP a little bit higher, and then I would have gone break even at this point, right? So that was a ton trade, and then also the OTC trade as well from yesterday, right? So the OTC trade yesterday, you can see, we got the breakout. I didn't actually get involved in this, but it hit TP perfectly, and then I would have probably went at break even at that point as well. You can just see that we're not really getting those pushes, right? We got a breakout, came back down, try to take out the highs again, came back down. So if you look at this as a perspective of a trade, the breakout was there. The trade setup is there, right? It's just there's no continuation, and I think that's the problem with this current market right now. There's just no continuation, right? So those were the two trades that we highlighted yesterday, and they both actually played out. And yeah, I'm kind of just taking a little bit of a. There's just not much happening right now. That I've analyzed most of the markets this morning, and I'm trying to find some setups, but there's not much happening right now because I do think that there's going to be more downside. You know what I mean? So because there might be more downside, we're going to have to wait for these bounces. Okay. This ETC setup also played out. If you guys took this trade, right? We were saying that once we get a close above there, you can look for long stop loss below the range. It actually played out beautifully. If you took this trade over here, you're looking at a 3% move, but now you see it's coming back into the range. So you can see most tokens are just looking quite relatively weak here, guys. So that's kind of my thoughts on the market with Ethereum and most of the altcoins. This was my Bitcoin trade idea from yesterday. We got that breakout over there. I was looking to short back down to this level, then we got to push back up, right? But right now it's just not looking too great. If we just remove most of these, there we go. Let's just remove most of all of this stuff. It's a little bit chopped. Just looking at the lower time frames here. Let's actually move this. Okay, so we're above the point of control. I just don't like how we broke this low over here. The 15-minute will give us a bit more. Yeah, you can see we also broke trend as well, which is not good. That's your break of trend right over there, and now we're consolidating below the trend. Okay, so Bitcoin right now, it's also looking a little bit weak, right? Let's have a look over here to see what Bitcoin's plan is for the day, because I want to see where the liquidity is sitting. Most liquidity below us, eh? So 121,400. Let's have a look at the 12-hour. Yeah, 124. It looks like we might come down first, guys. 121,400, around about here, and then we have 120, guys. 120,600, a little bit lower, right? And then potentially we have higher of 124,700, 124,600. Around about this one. I don't think that happens first, though. I think we see lows first. We broke trend, right? We broke this low over here. I don't see us pumping all the way back up to this level and then coming down. That is a possibility, but highly unlikely. So I am more like on the bearish side today than I was yesterday, just because how structurally the charts are looking on the lower time frames. So we'll see what happens, guys. I will be posting updates throughout the day to keep you guys alert to see what's happening. But yeah. It's been quite a tricky week to trade because there's been no continuation, right? That's the problem. So you get a breakout and then it's actually a fake out. So you take the trade, you get stopped out, right? So it's all about just being patient and waiting for these setups to actually just occur. So yeah, if you took the trades yesterday, they did play out, but there was no continuation. So that's the only problem with like this type of market and this type of structure right now. There's no bullish continuation or bearish continuation. It's more like just a sideways chop. But we'll see what happens, guys. I'm looking at that zero long. I do think that this could play out, guys, regardless of what's happening in the market right now. I think zero one of the stronger tokens out there, holding a daily resistance, which is beautiful. But I appreciate you guys for watching. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you guys in the Telegram group. Keeping it short and sweet, just going over what I'm looking at for the day.